My name is Rina Davison. I am the Assistant Vice Chancellor for Health Sciences Administration at the University of California, San Diego. I have been there for 28 years. I started there as a student. I worked my way through all the different jobs in basic science department. Research administration was a big part of my career. I was the business officer for 10 years in the department that I was in, and now I'm in the big seat. I oversee all the operational teams in the Vice Chancellor's office. I oversee space and planning, research administration, academic administration, business intelligence and analytics, and finance. We decided to partner with True Consulting because of their experience with higher education, and we have so many unique features at UCSD, especially in health sciences with our faculty compensation, the highly matrixed enterprise that we are, the silos, all of the things that make everything that we do harder. I think having a partner who really specializes in higher education really was the key reason that we decided to go with True. What differentiates True from other consultants that we've worked with is their experience in higher education, which made them great partners. I think for UCSD specifically, True really understood the complexities that we had in health sciences and was really able to help guide us with the solutions that they were building for us. The problem we were trying to solve when we reached out to True was some solutions for our budgeting tools and process. In health sciences, we have a lot of complexities that the general campus doesn't have, and the solution that they had for us wasn't working. And so we needed to have True come in and work with us on coming up with a better way to integrate the health system and health sciences with what the campus budget office needs. Currently at UCSD, we've been growing, we've been expanding, but we don't necessarily have the budget. We're a public institution. We don't have the budget to continue growing our personnel. We needed to have tools in place that allowed us to maintain a reasonable number of staff and allow them to do the analysis that they need to do instead of doing all of their work manually, downloading data, pivoting, using shadow systems. So I think one of the key components of having this new tool in place is the ability to really focus on the work that needs to be done, which provides better support for our faculty population. One of the great things about this tool is that we're building it for keeping track of PI portfolios right now. That was really the intention of it, but it's scalable, and I don't think it's just for research administrators. So I'm looking forward to having the rest of the finance staff throughout, not just health sciences, because we have expanded the use of this across the entire campus. So taking it from affecting 1,200 people to over 3,000 people. Being able to use this tool to keep track of all the funds across the campus and not just faculty portfolios is going to be a game changer, I think, in all the departments, in my own office, in the Vice Chancellor's office. So I envision this tool becoming, a mainstay for all of the finance staff across the campus. UCSD has been the leader in a lot of things. I think one area that they haven't been a leader in is innovation when it comes to technology. I think there's been a lot of resistance. There's a culture at UCSD that really lives in what we've always done, past precedent, people passing down their spreadsheets from one person to another, over 30 years. I think we don't have the luxury right now of really living in the past. We have to keep moving forward. We have to keep re-envisioning how we're doing things. We need to reimagine everything we do. I think one of the challenges that we have is how do we get our campus IT on the same page as us? How do we redefine how we look at data and how we store data and who has access to the data? We don't we've never really had to think about things that way. And I think a lot of the staff who are using all of the technology in the schools and the departments have been very happy just to do things their own way, set up their own shops, hire their own people, hire their own business intelligence people, business analytics people, whatever we're calling them today. I think we don't have the time right now to not push forward and try to reimagine everything that we're doing. I am really excited about all of the opportunities that we have with True because of the partnership that we do have with them and the higher ed connection. One of the other great benefits of partnering with True is that they're working with other universities and they know what's going on across the entire country. And so they can also share with us what's happening at other institutions and how they're solving their problems. And I'm hoping what we can do with the tools and technology that we're putting into place with their help is really kind of expand that out to other universities too, because I think the tools that we're really thinking about building and reimagining are tools that every campus can use across this country. Because when we're doing grants management, for example, we all have to do the same thing. We have to follow the same rules and the same policies. So I think the solutions that we're coming up with have been extremely innovative and is much needed across the entire country. So I'm really looking forward to rolling that out and letting people see what we're working on. One of the benefits, like when you talk about having us, we grew up in this environment, and we've watched everything. We were talking last night about things going from being, on the typewriter, dot matrix printers, in triplicate, all of the things that we did, and separating out all the ledgers and doing our reconciliations all by hand and checking off the boxes, and then moving into things like transaction sampling. That's really scary for people, and I think change is really, really hard. Again, we don't have the luxury to not try to change, and when you're passionate about what you do, and I'm all bought into the university. Like everything that we do and everything that we support, all the changes that we're working so hard to try to execute, it's not for me, it's for the university. Like that's what we're doing, and those are the changes that we're really trying to make. And I don't think we could have even conceived of a lot of these solutions if we didn't have the partnership with True. So I think that for me has been an absolute game changer. So I think partnering with my BI analytics director and his vision has been just absolutely amazing. And I do know that what we're doing is going to spread and evolve. And every time they come up with something new, I just keep thinking of the next thing. And like, who else can I tell, so that we can start connecting everything together on the campus, because that's what's really missing. I think one of the biggest concerns that I have is that anytime there's a crisis, anytime something new hits us, financial, personnel, pandemic, anything, we don't have the technology to pivot. We're not nimble, we're not flexible, everybody's scrambling. We live in a reactive world. So we don't even have the opportunity to be proactive, to plan, to really think about the future, because all we're doing, we're stuck in, okay, I gotta solve this problem, I have to put out this fire, and then it's always something, and it never stops. It never stops. So I think having these tools in place, it's critical. We're not gonna survive if we don't keep thinking like this. I think one of the challenges as a leader, especially in a university setting, is making big changes. And in a department level, you can make little changes within your department that help the faculty, that help your immediate staff, but going beyond that is really difficult. In the role I'm in now, I have an opportunity, if I take it, to really push. And you kind of have to have courage in an environment like this to be willing to take some of the pushback and maybe come out with a few scars. But if you know that you can leave it in a better place and make an impact, I think for me, I started out thinking, what can I do that's better for health sciences? But then the more I started talking to other people, because we're siloed everywhere, but my counterparts across the campus, the more we started talking with them, they need it too. So then it's the push. Tell me what you need. What are we trying to solve together? Let's work on this together. And I think that for me as a leader has been very rewarding. I didn't think I would have an opportunity to have this much of an impact on the campus. And the more that I talk about what we need and what we're doing, the more people who want to get on board. So I'm really looking forward to pushing out to all of our operational partners through campus, because again, we can't make fast decisions, we can't make quick decisions, we're not making good decisions, we're making knee-jerk reaction decisions, and we cannot afford to live in that world at all. We just can't. So I really need that continued partnership with the rest of the campus, and it's really helped me actually build better relationships. We're building, bridges from health sciences over to the general campus. That's always been a very, you're the bad guys, no, you're the bad guys. And we have new leadership, which has been good. And so it's given us an opportunity to really build strong bridges and partnerships, more collaboration, really getting the conversation going, especially around where we are falling short with our technology solutions and why we're not talking about it from the top. That's one area that I'm really pushing right now, is we need to get leadership from the top to start coming together and bringing all of our BI teams, our analytics teams, and talking about what the whole campus needs, not just what do I need. And I think that's where we really struggle as an institution, is thinking just of each unit on their own, instead of how can what we're creating for this unit really tie into the rest of the units, whether it's graduate students or space and planning or anything that has to do with purchasing. I think we're not thinking big enough. And I mean, especially for the research administrators, when we really looked at what it is they do, how many different units that they touch, how many different systems they have to be in, it's amazing what they have to learn and what they have to know in order to just get their job done. And I think if we were all really thinking about what systems that we should be using and what systems we should be on, then we would definitely be able to make a bigger impact and make better decisions. One of the challenges that we have being a system, so we have the UC-wide system, is that we are allowed to make the decisions that we want to make for our operations on our own. We do it siloed, we don't talk to each other, but we're all facing the same challenges right now with technology. I don't even know what everybody's using throughout all the UCs. I do know that we are all struggling with research administration across all of the UCs, which is one area that we really thought we would focus on first. As soon as we had our proof of concept, I was so excited that I think we really needed to get that out to the rest of the UC population, because one of the mandates that we had was being on the same chart of accounts system, regardless of which financial system that we chose. When we had the pandemic, we had, and I think it was across the country, what we call the Great Resignation with research administrators. And the UC system, they weren't exempt from having the same issues. And so one of the consequences of going remote and having the UC system was having the research administrators switch to different UCs so that they could keep, the same benefits and the pension. UCSD, because we went into our ESR implementation right at the pandemic, and remote work opened up, we lost at least 75% of our research administrators, most of them to other UC campuses. We know that we needed to come up with a solution for our campus. When we decided on what our solution was going to be, I knew that we needed to share that with all the rest of the UCs because they were also getting ready to do their ESR implementations. They were all going to a new system, similar system that we have, and we wanted to make sure that they were proactive, especially with their IT, to ensure that they had the tools that they needed when the systems implementations went live and they needed to hit the ground running. We're 5 years into our implementation, and we are just now putting this solution into action. And I don't want any of the other campuses to have that same devastation we have, because there's a lot of risk and compliance issues that come along with that. So we need to make sure that we're sharing. Why aren't we sharing? We should all be sharing our solutions and our innovations. So I think that's one of the main goals that I have is, especially with our sister campuses, is getting this tool out there. I've had several people already reach out to me and want to talk to me about it. So I'm really excited about that because this is going to be a game changer. If I could use one phrase to describe True, it would be, they get us.